Look at this digital structure building itself up, only to collapse back to zero. That is exactly what happens when you spend an hour teaching an AI agent your project rules and then close your terminal. The next time you start a session, it forgets everything. The consequence is that you find yourself explaining the exact same preferences over and over. You have to remind it to use strict typing. You have to tell it again that you prefer single quotes, every single session. To stop this cycle, we need to set up a persistent memory configuration. This relies on project-specific knowledge files that the AI can read before it takes any action. This diagram compares the two approaches. On the left, an agent with amnesia has to scan your entire codebase to find context, burning through API tokens. On the right, the agent reads a small, targeted memory file, reducing costs by bypassing the full project scan. By moving your agent from a stateless interaction to a stateful workflow, you turn a temporary utility into a permanent team member. To start building this, open your code editor and navigate to the root directory of your workspace. In this root folder, create a new file and name it claude.md. This file acts as the static foundation for your project. You will use it to set the non-negotiable rules, like enforcing TypeScript or explicitly forbidding the use of mock databases. Watch this diagram carefully. The text blocks pile up quickly until they hit this bright red cutoff line. That represents the hard 200-line index cap. Dumping paragraphs here triggers context bloat, stopping the agent. To stay below that limit, format your rules as a prioritized bulleted list. Keep instructions concise and action-oriented. Now, verify the setup. Open a new terminal session. You should see the agent log that it is reading your new static file during initialization. With these boundaries established, the agent references your stack requirements before it ever touches the terminal. Return to your root directory. It's time to create the second component, memory.md. Your static rules file is for permanent constraints. This memory bank is for fluid state. It tracks the tasks you are actively working on and recent shifts in your architecture. We structure this file using 3 specific headings: add active context, recent decisions, and known issues. You can test this immediately. Ask the agent why you made a specific database decision yesterday. Instead of blindly scanning code, it will grep the memory file and retrieve the exact reason. But this system has a trap. Look at these data blocks piling up and intertwining into a chaotic mess. This happens when treating the memory bank as an append-only log, leaving old, contradictory decisions to accumulate. When the agent reads conflicting instructions, it can become confused. You have to actively prune outdated information so the state remains accurate. Maintaining a strict architectural boundary between static rules and this dynamic state is the primary method for keeping the agent clear and focused over long-term development. To manage that pruning, we introduce a mandatory routine. You must do this at the end of your daily workflow, before you close any active session. Type this prompt: update the memory file with today's decisions, and strip out any outdated context. The agent will take over. It physically rewrites the markdown file, removing the old geometry of the project and curating its own memory. Warning tone: if you clear the terminal without running this prompt, whatever context you built up today is permanently lost. Let's run the ultimate verification test. Close your terminal completely, shutting down the agent, and launch a fresh blank session. Type the final test prompt. Pick up exactly where we left off. Watch this flow logic. The empty agent node sends a query straight to the memory bank. The bank instantly bounces the data back, lighting up specific context pathways so the agent can list the current objective and immediately begin working on the correct code. This self-updating routine permanently cures context amnesia. You can now execute deep, multi-day engineering work without losing momentum between sessions. Look at this heavy engine sparking to life at maximum velocity without any warm-up delay. That is the system you just built, a self-updating, persistent memory setup where the AI starts warm every time. Every day, the value compounds. The agent knows your stack requirements, retains the project history, and slashes your token footprint. Next, we can push this even further. We will introduce a dedicated errors.md file designed to track past debugging sessions and flag mistakes before they happen. By integrating these logs, the agent checks for known patterns before writing new code, reducing the risk of reintroducing the same bugs. Subscribe to the channel, and we will build that in the next video.